Well, thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate it. And that was a great win. That was a great win for so many people that this rivalry means so much to. I'm really happy for our seniors. A couple of them told me there towards the end of the game, that they've never seen the boot, and that really hit me. And I can't tell you how proud I am of how we prepared, how proud I am of our guys and our coaching staff, and really the win for the organization. We've got a long ways to go, but as you guys I've told you now, I like this team, and now it's a matter of what we learned from this win moving forward. And we had some great individual performances, but the individual performances would not have occurred without all the team. And offensively, we did what we had to do as far as can keep their quarterback off the field, to keep him in check, and that was something. When you play a guy like that, your best defense is your offense, and so I thought we did that decently. Gave up a couple opportunities, but at the same time, controlled the ball. Did a good job in time of possession to try to keep them off. And then defensively, we stayed in our rush lanes. We stayed in coverage. Even when he broke and was keeping downfield, I thought our guys did a good job keeping the ball in front of them. But I just can't tell you how proud I am of this football team and how happy I am for all the people involved with Colorado State football.
Can you explain this team yet, how you can play so very well this week, and just from week to week you're not quite sure what you're getting?
Well, that comes from growing up. That comes from understanding the process. It comes from that's how you build a program, guys. It doesn't happen overnight. And what we learned from this moving forward, we've got a tough road trip. That look, guys, playing on the island isn't easy. I don't care what anyone says, and we've got to get focused on that. We, enjoy this. Get the boot back to, Fort Collins, and then we've got to move forward as a football team and as a program. And part of these are all steps in getting better. But as I've said, I like this team, and we're going to look back and kick ourselves here and there throughout this season. That's the way it is, but it's what you learn from it. Well, not really. I thought we complemented each other, and that to me is the key to having a good football team. Is the guys complement each phase complements each other. When we had to punt, I thought punt guy did what he was supposed to do and made him go long field, right? Before the first half, we wanted to steal some points. I think probably the best thing we did in the whole game was the 2-minute drive before half, because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, not let them have an opportunity to have the ball. We ran the ball. We got down there and we centered it, and kicker went in and did what he's supposed to do. That's a team game, and anytime you can limit their possessions, a team that plays tempo football, if you can limit the amount of opportunities they have to get going and get the NASCAR and race car going, then we did that with our offense, and that was good to see.
You talked a lot about the just importance of bringing the boot back to where it's home. It feels good, as you thought it would, that scoreboard Wednesday.
I mean, yeah, but it doesn't feel good. I mean, it feels great for all the people it means so much to. Yeah, it means a lot to me, but this is nothing about that. It's about those kids in that locker room who have accepted the challenge of what we're trying to accomplish. They have made great changes in their lives and their attitudes. And really it's about, the seniors who haven't seen that boot, and the town of Fort Collins and the alumni of Colorado State. I mean, shoot, guys, that's a pretty good win, don't you think?
Your pre-rushes for 200 yards, but can you talk about your offensive line and just how they controlled the line of scrimmage all day?
We felt going in, that kind of our strength was going to be, if we could eliminate run-throughs that hurt us against San Jose, if we could stalemate at a couple spots up front and then get the backside cut off, that we had a chance to stretch and maybe hit some creases. That's what kind of runner Capri is. I mean, he is a true zone runner, and that's where I think he probably made most of his hay. We did a decent job with the combo block power, but I'm willing to guess the majority came off of that, and he did what he was supposed to do.
I know you like, obviously the 59-yard run gives you that explosive thing, but it was, I think, maybe one of his most impressive runs. 3rd and 2, you needed a first down, and he got stopped behind the line of scrimmage and still picked up the first down. Is that what you like about him, is he can give you both elements?
Yeah, he can run behind his pads. You've heard me talk about that. That's very important as a runner, is learning how to run behind your pads and then picking your feet up through traffic, and he got better at that today. And I thought that was kind of a defining moment. You know what I'm getting at? Put it on their shoulders and say, let's go.
Austin Gray saw significantly more playing time today, got a touchdown out of it. Are we going to see more of him in the future?
Well, he better. He was wide open. Now, Austin's been playing periodically, and he plays on every special team. So, I mean, the guy gets a ton of snaps. And obviously us moving him from defense where he was a starter, what he's done for us in that receiver room has been great. And how he's actually tutored Rashard, Higgins, has been outstanding. And, I feel really good that he was able to sneak that one in.
Jim, how important is getting the early lead?
I think, anytime you can get off to a fast start is huge. I think the first stop, defensively probably helped us more than anything. I felt good about our first 8 going in. Knew it would confuse him, and I thought Dave did a really good job of kind of keeping him confused through the game a little bit with some things, and we just got to continue to do that. It allows us to gain edges. But anytime we can get off to a fast start, I mean, obviously, you've got to look at historical precedents. I didn't know if we were going to show up and come out of the locker room at halftime, but we kind of did. That was a good deal.
Were you surprised by that?
I was stunned.
Is there anything?
There's no historical precedents that said we were able to do that, right? So I had them film the whole thing, okay? This is no kidding, man. Everything's on film. So whatever they did, they're going to do the exact thing. We're going to replicate the locker room we're in. Okay.
You filmed in the locker room?
Yeah, filmed in. We looked at everything.
You're going to bring the boot to Hawaii and set it on the opposite sideline?
Yeah, not a bad idea. You know what? It might want to go surfing.
It is a traveling trophy.
It's a traveling trophy. That's good.
You're down a couple defensive tackles. Can you talk a little bit about the game that Curtis Wilson had for you today? A couple sacks.
Another one of those seniors, that I think they said enough's enough. I'm going to give this one to our seniors, because really where you think, we really stepped up and did some things, I think that they've probably said, guys, Coach Mack wore us down, man. Let's just go do it.
How nice was that to see, given that so much of what's been done this year with this team, the positive plays have been the young guys, to have that senior class really take ownership, I guess, today?
To see the joy in their eyes. That's what education and being a teacher is all about, and to see them reach something that they haven't reached, makes you happy for them.
I mean, you talk a lot about the tradition and what this game means to everybody. Did you take a moment to just watch your team run over, grab the boot, and then take it back to your fans?
I actually did. Just sat kind of on the field. Guys, it's rivalries are awesome, and that's what makes college football what it's all about. They'll be fired up to come in and take it back next year at our place. We'll find a good place for it, And you know, it's shiny.
Yeah.
Some of the gun's shiny.
Yeah, they're polished.
Yeah, it's shiny.
Did you find a place for it yet? Because you said you weren't sure how big it was. You've gotten it signed and you got it.
You know, I haven't quite measured it up yet. You know, most of the trophies go in Coach Eller's office. I just find them in there. I don't know what he does with them. I don't know if he takes them home and takes pictures with them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Coach, after most games, win or loss, you say you expect to win. Did you expect to win like this?
Yeah.
Today? This big?
Mm-hmm.
This dominating?
Yeah. I did. I did. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't see why you can't, because it's about winning every down. And I'm going to guess we won the majority of the downs. And it's about what we're going to do tomorrow when they come in for treatment. And then it's going to be about what we do on Monday and how we're going to focus and how we're going to win that rep in practice. And when that mentality starts to take hold, they're starting to realize, I think, the importance of that. You never get there, you know, I mean, but that's what you should be striving for.
You talked about the historical precedence of this team coming out of the locker room. They come down, they score right away, but you answer.
That was big.
How important was that for you to see? How important was it for your team?
Man, that was big, guys. You know, like I said, I felt good about the first 8. Knowing what kind of offense they had, you know, we were going to have to match. And then once we were able to hold serve, right? Break serve, I should say. Not really good at tennis, okay? But once we were able to break serve, that's when we had to control the clock and keep them off the field. And I thought we executed the game plan from a staff standpoint the way, you know, we wanted it orchestrated.
You know, you're happy with your defense in Alabama, but was this almost more impressive? I mean, I know your offense helped by keeping Smith off the field, but you got pressure on him.
Yeah.
You end up getting 3 turnovers.
I mean, that guy's a heck of a ball player now. He's fun to watch. And, you know, my hat's off to him and what they're doing with him. I would say in a lot of ways, you know, especially where we've been hurt and how we've been hurt, how the resolve of our defensive guys, I think was huge.
Jim, the targeting
Yeah.
call,
Uh-huh.
did you see it happen?
You know, yeah, you know, and you know, we teach every day in practice, you know, how to put your head to the side. In this case, you know, when he went down, we went down, you know, it was a short little target. Yet at the same time, guys, those are the rules, and, you know, we've just got to learn from it, okay? Show it over and over. All he had to do was keep his head up and put his, you know, to the side, which is how we teach it. And this is the first one we've had, and we'll continue to learn from it. And so no one feels worse than Bernard. You know, those are reaction things, man. We grew up playing the game. I mean, you know, but we've got to really recenter and go through our fundamentals.
Is it more of a teaching moment for Bernard than being?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Bernard's 160 pounds. I mean, he's not going to hurt anybody, but at the same time, he could have hurt himself, you know. So that, you know, that's part of the learning part of it.
You had one called on you back in the CU-CSU game by on Aaron Davis, but then they reviewed it.
Yeah,
Said
he
it
did a
wasn't
good.
hurt.
Yeah, he did a good job of
So can you
putting his head
match
aside. Yeah. Well, this one we didn't move our head like we were supposed to, and we didn't sink our hips, and you know we tried to 5-point spinky.
Jim, third game in a row with 3 touchdown passes for
You guys have the visual of the 5-point spinky, right? Don't you?
Every
yeah.
time.
I mean, don't you love that those
Every
pictures?
Classic 1950 NFL photo.
I mean, it's just I just. In fact, I think, you know, next year we're gonna take a team photo of every guy face man, and we're gonna 5-point
I
spinky.
would have used it, but I don't know how to spell spanky.
Be careful, man.
Yeah, I know.
All right, guys.
What confidence did you guys gain as a defense starting off with 2-3 and outs against these guys?
It just brought more pit to the fire. I mean, defensively. I mean, we did that Alabama game. I mean, we put ourselves in that type of game. We had that mentality from first play. We wanted to make a stand. So,
How are you guys able
Listening to stay in coverage, even though there are times that Smith had a lot of time in the pocket. Other games, it seems like that's when the receivers get behind you. What was different this time?
More pressure to contain. D-line did a great job containing them from the outside in. I mean, we worked scramble drills in practice, so I think that helped us a lot.
What did it feel like getting this pick? Just because that was a big momentum at
Right.
the time to really kind of keep it going.
It felt, words couldn't explain, pretty much. I mean, I was so bought into trying to get the offense the ball back. So, I mean, just to do that and do it for the seniors, that just was awesome.
Talk about general big turnover. I mean, you guys come up with a bunch of turnovers.
I'm happy for Shaq, and I'm happy for, that JL for that forced fumble, and DeAndre with the, scramble drill, and he took it for I don't know how many yards, but I wasn't expecting that, but congrats to them. I was happy for them. I was a little tired for the altitude, but it was a good feeling.
Can you talk a little bit more about your seniors? A lot's been made of you younger crew, and how important you are to this team.
Right.
But the seniors played really well. The
Right.
offensive guys up front, Curtis Wilson.
Yeah.
How
Curtis,
important were the seniors to you today, and how happy?
How important? It started all the way back from the summer. We bonded with the seniors so much that we wanted to. It led to this game. Just one that they never got the boot for the past 4 years when they were here. So for us young guys to, make them happy and be proud to let them have that boot, that was wonderful.
Trent, did you ever see this coming? This kind of a win in this game, in this environment, given what you guys have done so far this season?
Good question. I knew we had a good scheme. I know that the coaches had a good scheme. So, if we executed, I know we was going to get the job done. So,
confidence has been kind of a weird thing for you guys this year. You've gone into halftime with leads and didn't come out overconfident in the second half. How are you able to ride that confidence this week, particularly, and continue on in the third quarter specifically and this game?
Good question. What we have to do is we can't get complacent. That's through the first half and leading on to the next game. So it's some things that we did that were correctly. We still gave them, that were incorrect. We still gave them points. So we have to clean that up, and we have to stay. We can't get cocky. So.
One of the big things I think one of the keys to this game for you guys, even defensively, was your offense controlling the time of possession.
Right.
How nice was it to be able to stand on the sidelines, get your breath, and go out fresh?
It was a good thing for me personally because, the altitude kind of got me on a couple plays. So for them to just, help us, with the clock, that was good for us because that might have set the tone for us going out as far as catching our breath or, settling down on third downs or, competing on 1st and 10. So.
Has there been a celebration for you as much fun as running to their sideline and taking boots since you played here?
That was the key of the game. Just going to get that boot. So that was much said and done. So I was excited.
How satisfying was this win for the defense? Because you guys have kind of taken a beating the last couple of weeks.
Right. It just shows that how much work we put in this week. We put a lot of work and a lot of mentally and physical time in, so just to have that win is outstanding, and I'm happy for my defense because maybe this is what we needed to go into the next couple games.
What was the key to kind of controlling Brett Smith, you felt today?
The key was not letting him get comfortable. Secondly, controlling from tackle in. And thirdly, stay on our men when he scrambled. We didn't want him to get explosive plays. So if we did that DB-wise and from D-line all the way to the linebackers, we were going to be successful.
It was an unreal feeling. I was talking to Weston at half, and he was telling me, we've obviously never had that boot. We never got to even touch it, We don't know what it's like. Just please, get it for me. And I looked him in the eye and said, I'm going to do it. We're going to bring this thing home where it belongs. So.
But you got 4 seniors on that offensive front. How good were they, and did they seem a little bit more motivated?
I think just showed with that last run Capri had how bad they wanted it. That late in the game, we were up pretty big, and I don't know how far of a run it was, but just to show they wanted it that bad that they were still wanting more. So it was an awesome feeling. I'm happy for them and proud to be a part of it. So.
Can you describe what you saw from Coach McElwain this week leading up to such an important game? His composure, his demeanor, how he spoke to you guys and such?
He actually had a little article from last year's game that he showed us every day, and it just kind of reminded us because you guys had our number last year, so that was something he wanted to remind us every day, and I think kind of helped because we came out here firing. So
was it at least well written?
Yeah.
What did that win about you guys just being fed up and you could be better?
I mean, yes and no. We obviously knew we kind of let some games get away. The record could be a little bit different, but we just wanted to come up here and set the tone early. We didn't want to give them any chances. We knew their offense was explosive. We knew their quarterback is one of the best in the country, so we didn't want to give them any chances. As an offense, we wanted to have our defense rest as much as it possibly could because we knew they were an up-tempo offense. So after that first drive and the first couple drives, I guess, we kept our defense rested, and that was big for us to just give them time to make adjustments and just get their feet underneath them.
Quick starts aren't always a problem for you guys. It's putting your foot on their throat when you get up. What was the key to being able to do it? Was it an attitude change?
No, we came in at halftime and nobody said anything at all. We wanted to approach it, as if it was the start of the game. Start of the game, we're always quiet. Everybody's focused on their job, what they have to do. So we took that approach in the second half. We said, when we come in here, don't say a word. Let the coaches talk, make their adjustments, whatever they have to do. But we're not going to say a word. We're taking this as 0-0, and we're going from there.
Honestly, how big was it for your offense after they scored to open the second half that you answered right back?
That was huge. I mean, obviously, that could be a huge turning point in the game if they score quick like that, and if we don't go out there and answer the bell, who knows what could happen. So when things like that come up, you need to answer, and I think we did that. So.
McElwain is a pretty emotional coach, but was this one of the more emotional you've seen him after this game?
I mean, yeah. After even during the game, there was about 5 minutes left in the game, and he wasn't happy with how our second offense was playing. He still was asking for more from them. So he wasn't letting us give up at all. He wanted to pedal to the metal the whole game. That was kind of his thing going into this week. And then what he said to us at the end of the game, it was pretty cool. So.
Can you kind of sum up what he said that was so cool?
He just said he was happy for the seniors. I mean, it was a well-deserved thing for them. I mean, they battled, for 4 years now, and they hadn't seen it the previous 3, so it was huge for them to get that. And he said he was just proud that he could be that guy to help the seniors bring it back.
How impressed are you with
Alexander? Did you think he overthrew it a little bit?
I did. My first reaction when I let it go was I kind of was getting ready to put my hands on my helmet, like, oh no, dang it! But he made a hell of a catch. If that's not on SportsCenter top 10, I don't know what is. So.
Did he catch it with his broken hand or his good hand?
I don't know. I think it was his good hand, but I mean, obviously it looked good. So.
You've mentioned before that you guys have come out of the locker room overconfident. Do you think your different demeanor in the locker room was a way that you guys could come out in the second half and not be overconfident?
I do. I think that was a big part. Like I said, we came in the locker room, didn't say anything, and that was, I think, past games, we've come in there and we've had leads and we've just kind of got relaxed because people are like, this is easy. We should come out the second half same way, and nobody's really focusing on what they need to do. And I think that was big for us to just be quiet, focus on our job, the next play, and just go out there and get it done.
Max said he was going to film you guys during the locker room so you guys would know exactly what you did. Will this be the first week you've actually watched game film on your halftime?
The locker, yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Do you remember what you did at halftime?
I just sat next to Weston the whole time. So.
Did he touch the trophy at all?
Did Weston?
No, Coach. I didn't see him touch.
Oh
it.
Yeah. He did. He did. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
How more and more impressed are you getting with Capri each passing week?
I mean, I was impressed with him. When he first started those first couple games, how he was playing. So the way he's playing now is just, makes me happy, I guess you could say, because I know I've got those guys back there that, if I'm having a bad game or I'm not doing things the right way, I can count on those guys to kind of pick me up. And, Donnell had a hell of a game too. I mean, there was times I saw him with 4 guys on him and he kept driving his feet and got just 4 or 5 extra yards. So both those guys are huge for us.
I was going to say, because Capri had that 59-yard touchdown, right? But you were driving for a touchdown. I think it was in the third quarter. It was 3rd and 2. He got hit behind the line of scrimmage, picks it up. For a quarterback, is that even more of an impressive run than him?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's way more impressive than anything because, it keeps us on the field, lets the defense rest, make their adjustments, whatever they need to make. So when we can stay on the field, that's huge for us as a team, not just as an offense. I mean, obviously gives us more confidence, but anything we can do to help the defense and let them rest as much as possible up against an up-tempo offense like that is huge.
Just how satisfying was that sprint over to go grab that ball?
Like I said, it was an unreal experience. Obviously, I've never felt it. Seniors never felt it. And that was the biggest part for me, is just to know those seniors finally got what they've worked so hard for. So.
Who got to it first,
I don't know.
Brandon Melling.
Did he?
Okay. Brandon Hayes and Ellie Edwards.
Oh, okay.
Anything else?
Really excited with how we played, and a lot of young guys stepped up, played really well, and I want to give my hat off to the defense. I think they really set up the demeanor for the game. I think in that first half, shutting them down to 7 points. So I'm really proud of the team.
But can you Capri ran for 200 yards today, but you and your mates up front really controlled the line of scrimmage all game. You talk about just how you were able to kind of set a tone early.
You guys are out there when we practice. We practice hard, and that's how it is all week. We want to come in, be able to dictate how the game goes up front, get a hat on a hat. We knew our assignment. We were very confident with what we were supposed to do on a play-to-play basis, and we were able to do that today.
How relieving is it to see this offense really put the nail in the coffin in the second half instead of watching the team come back and tie you?
Well, that's what. I wanted to make it a huge point at halftime in the locker room to really come out and come out with urgency, which the defense did. Shut them down. We got 7 points quick. Kept getting turnovers. That was something that I had in my mind, and a lot of other guys did too. So we wanted to make it evident what we needed to do, and we did it.
So was much said at halftime? Because Garrett just said that you tried to say nothing at all to make it like a beginning of the game and change things up.
It was a little bit of both. Yeah, I wanted to make sure. I knew they knew what we needed to do, but I wanted to make sure I told them, and I told guys how important it was to me to get the boot because I want it. So, but yeah, we were quiet at some points, and kind of got to let them know a little bit at the other times. So.
Just how fun was it to have that?
It was a lot of fun.
Sprint over to grab it.
Yeah.
I
I was worried I was going to get passed on the way over there by all the other faster guys, but I think I clocked a pretty good time. So it was awesome. That was a great feeling, and really excited. We talked about getting CSU where it needs to be is a big-time program, and this is a small step in that direction.
You've played in more games than any other person pretty much on your team. Was this one of the most fun games for you to play?
It's up there. It definitely is. It definitely one of the most meaningful, I think. We got the boot, and we're going in the second half of the season with a good taste in our mouth.
Any of us said we saw this probably blind. Did you see it coming?
Well, they've got a great offense, so we were expecting them to score more points than they did. We were expecting it to be more of a shootout. But I knew me and my offensive line were going to go in there. Like I said, we practice hard. We practice really hard during the week. You see it. So we knew we had to come in and be really physical with them, and that was our first goal, was to be very physical, wear them down. They were tired in the second quarter. They didn't want it anymore. So that was our first goal, was to come in and be as physical as possible.
What statement does this victory make about your coach to the nation, to the conference?
It's resiliency. We kind of had a disappointing week last week with the loss to San Jose, but we're able to come back. He was able to motivate us and get us going for this big game, and we were able to make a big statement in it.
Are you guys finally catching on to that one day at a time? You said you guys are getting there.
Well, it's not just that. It's just the way he does things, the way we're expected to do things. Like I'm telling you, the practices, we figured out how to practice. It's very physical, really, really demanding. So we just got to keep doing that, keep working hard, and the results will come.
Did you see the turnover when Odin tipped the ball and it went to Shaq, or were you guys?
I did. They have one video screen. Maybe they don't have technology to get the other one going, but I could only see a little bit of it, so I did not see it.
Really, I mean, you talked about the young guys making a contribution, but really, it's a lot of seniors really played well this game.
Well, you know, I told him, I was sitting on the bench we got 4 seniors on the offensive line. I told them, we're never going to get this shot again. So why not just give everything you got? And they were on board with me. They played a heck of a game, and it's really good to see us get the boot back.
Is that a mentality you guys should carry throughout the rest of the season?
Well, you should always carry the mentality. You know, we want to be physical. We have 6 or so games left in college ever, so you might as well play it to your to the fullest. So.
How good is it to put forth a performance like that and then see it back like Capri-Bibbs really capitalize on it?
Well, he's a player. He's a playmaker. And, you know, as long as we're going to open up holes for him, he's going to find them and be able to get out and get big runs for us. It was really awesome to see him do that.
Hey, Weston, when did you guys talk about the seniors on the bench? What game was that?
No, I couldn't remember. I think it was a theme throughout. It was big time in the first half, about to go into halftime. I wanted to tell them, hey man, we got 1 half left of this game ever. So, you know, give me all you got, and we're going to go out and do it. We were
beginning of the second half.
Yeah, I don't know, probably.
Did you guys go into this game feeling fed up losing to Wyoming, or?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a feeling. Anytime you're in a rivalry like this and you don't get it, you definitely have some motivation to get it the next time. So, you know, I'm so happy for CSU getting the boot back. Sorry I couldn't do it the last 3 years, but you know, hopefully this starts a tradition, keeping it where it belongs. And I'm excited to see the Border War next year. So.
Thanks, Weston.
All right.
Congratulations.